Hello, good day once again, gentle folks. Thank you for joining me for another video for your NFL weekly game picks and betting tips and predictions. I hope you had a wonderful week last week and you managed to win. So for this week, we're going to jump straight into it. This week is the final week before we head into the playoffs. Week 17 of the NFL. It has been an interesting season so far, a good one for a number of teams. The Jets had a good break at one point. The Jaguars, they're playing better football compared to last year. Russell Wilson is having a terrible year. The Cowboys, as usual, they're kicking up a storm, doing well as well. And also the Eagles. They have only lost 2 games this season so far. Anyways, let's jump straight into it, and we're going to start with Thursday night football, and we're going to start with the Cowboys versus the Titans. And for this game now, here, carrying the Cowboys to win. Some would say that it's obvious based on the format there, and yes, the Cowboys to win. And in terms of a spread, I would go with the Cowboys at minus 6.5. And in terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 40 points, I do believe, in this game. And so let me just go here. Yes, over 39.5 points. Yes, so recapping predictions for Cowboys versus Tennessee Titans. I'm expecting the Cowboys to win at $1.20. And in terms of spread, I'm going with the Cowboys at minus 6.5, and that's $1.55. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that I'm expecting over 39.5 points in this game, and that's $1.83. Alright, and so we're going to move on from Thursday Night Football on to Sunday. And we're going to start with the Cardinals versus the Falcons. And for the Cardinals versus the Falcons, I'm going to take the Falcons to win here. $1.55. In terms of a spread, I'm going to go with the Falcons at minus 3.5. In terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 40 points. Alright, so I'm going to go with over 41.5. Yeah, and let's recap our predictions. Alright, then predictions for Cardinals versus Falcons. I'm expecting the Falcons to win at $1.55. In terms of a spread, I'm going with the Falcons at minus 3.5, and that's $1.90. In terms of total points, I believe that we should have over 41.5 points in this game, and that's $1.87. Alright, and so we're going to move along to Bears versus Lions. And for this game now, I'm expecting here, I'm going to take the Lions to win this one. Can't count the Bears out though, but I'm going to take the Lions to win this one. So the Lions to win. In terms of a spread, I'm going to go with the Lions at minus 6.5. And in terms of total points, I'm going to say here we should have over 44 points, I do believe, in this game. Should have over 44 points. So let's look again. Alright, so I'm seeing some big points here, not seeing what I want to see. Alright, then so I'm gonna go with under 55 points since I'm not seeing my over 44 points. Yes. Alright, and so recapping predictions for the Bears versus Lions. I'm expecting the Lions to win here at $1.40. In terms of spread, I'm going to take the Lions at minus 6.5, and that's $2. And in terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 54.5 points in this game, and that's $1.60. Yeah, if that does happen. Alright, and so let's move right along into our next game, and our next game will be the Jaguars versus the Texans. Texans had a win last week that I didn't expect them to, but yeah, that's what the NFL is sometimes. So the Jaguars versus Texans, I'm expecting here. I'm expecting the Jaguars to take care of business. So the Jaguars to win at $1.50. In terms of spread, I'm going to take the Jaguars at minus 4.5. In terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 43 points in this game, I do believe. So over 43.5. So recapping predictions for Jaguars versus Houston Texans rather. Sorry, gentle folks. I'm expecting the Jacksonville Jaguars to win here at $1.50. In terms of spread, I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars here, minus 4.5, and that's $1.95. And in terms of total points here, I'm expecting that we should have over 43.5 points, and that's $1.90 if that does happen. Alright, so let's move along into the next game, and the next game will be the Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And for this game, I'm expecting the Chiefs to win here, based on how poorly the Broncos have been. And Chiefs, they are doing well. I'm expecting them to continue. I would be surprised if they lost here. So the Chiefs to win at $1.15. In terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Chiefs at minus at -9. Yes, -9.5. Yes, in terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 40 points, I do believe. Let's see, over 40, not seeing that, so I'm going to go over, yeah, it's over 40.5. So recapping predictions for Broncos versus Chiefs, I'm expecting the Chiefs to win here at $1.15. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Chiefs at -9.5, and that's $1.60. In terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 40.5 points, and that's $1.44 if that happens. Alright, so let's move along into the next game, and the next game will be the Dolphins versus the Patriots. This one is going to be a tough one for the Dolphins, I do believe, but I think this is going to be anybody's game, to be honest with you. Both teams are in a particular position, and so it's going to be a fight until the end, right? So, but I'm going to go with the Patriots, and the reason why I'm going with the Patriots is because they're at home and because Bill Belichick is their coach. Alright, so I'm taking the Patriots to win here, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins manage to pull off a win here. Foxborough should be very cool at this time of the year, and that's one of the other things I have going against the Dolphins here. Yeah, so the Patriots to win at $1.71. In terms of a spread, I'm going to go with -2.5 for the Patriots. In terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 41 points. Yes, let's see if I find it. Yes, over 41.5 points. Recapping predictions for the Dolphins versus the Patriots, I'm expecting the Patriots to win here at $1.71. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Patriots at -2.5 and $1.87. And in terms of total points, I'm saying we should have over 41.5 points, and that's $1.83. Alright, so those are my predictions for the Dolphins versus the Patriots, and we're going to move right along into the next game, which is the Indianapolis Colts versus the New York Giants. And for this game now, I'm expecting the Giants to take care of business here. For the Giants to win at $1.44. In terms of spread, I'm going to go with the Giants at -6.5, and that's $2.10. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 39.5 points. Yes. So recapping predictions for the Colts versus the Giants, I'm expecting the Giants to win at $1.44. In terms of a spread / line, I'm going with the Giants at -6.5, and that's $2.10. In terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 39.5 points in this game, and that's $1.90 in terms of odds. Yeah, if that does go that way, if we do have over 39.5 points in this game. Alright, so let's move right along into our next game, and the next game will be the New Orleans Saints versus the Philadelphia Eagles, the high-flying Philadelphia Eagles. And for this particular game, I'm going to take the Eagles to win this one, but I do expect the Saints to challenge them, so I'm going to take the Eagles to win here. Eagles to win. In terms of a spread, I'm going to go with the Eagles also at the -6.5. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 41 points in this game, I do believe. So over 41.5. In terms of recap now, let's head for recap. Saints versus the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles to win here at $1.35. In terms of the spread, I'm also taking the Eagles at -6.5, and that's $1.80. In terms of total points, I'm saying we should have over 41.5 points in this game, and that's $1.60. If that does happen with the current odds, that is. Yeah, so those are my predictions for the Saints versus the Eagles, and now we're going to move right along into the next game, and the next game will be the Carolina Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to show up business here. They need to take care of business if they want to make it to playoffs. So they can't afford to lose any. Well, this is the last game they can't afford to lose and need to win it and secure their spot to the postseason. Alright, so for this game, the Panthers versus the Buccaneers, I'm going to take the Buccaneers to win this one at $1.65. In terms of a spread, I'm going here with the Buccaneers at -2.5. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have under 41 points, I do believe. Alright, so we should have under 41 points. Yeah, so under 40.5 points. So recapping predictions for the Panthers versus the Buccaneers, I'm taking the Buccaneers to win here at $1.65. In terms of spread, I'm taking the Buccaneers also at -2.5, and that's $1.80. Yes, in terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have under 40.5 points, and that's $1.83. Yeah, so those are my predictions for the Panthers versus the Buccaneers, and that's how the cookie crumbles for that game from my perspective. And so we're going to skedaddle on over to the Cleveland Browns versus the Washington Commanders. And for this particular game here, I'm expecting the Commanders to take care of business at $1.76 in terms of spread. I'm going with the Commanders at minus 2.5 in terms of total points. I'm saying here we should have over 44 points, I do believe. So let's get the scroll through here. All right then, so we should have over 43.5 points in this game, I do believe. All right, and so recapping predictions for the Browns versus the Commanders. I'm expecting the Commanders to win here at $1.76. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Commanders at minus 2.5, and that's $1.95. Yeah, and in terms of total points, I'm taking over 43.5 points here, and that's $2.37 if that's the case here based on the current odds. Yeah, so those are my predictions for the Browns versus the Commanders, and then we're going to move right along to the 49ers versus the Raiders. 49ers having a fairly good season so far. Jimmy Garoppolo is out injured, but they do have a good backup quarterback. I think he started the season, and he should continue to handle business well here. I'm going to take the 49ers to win this one. In terms of a spread, I'm also going to go with the 49ers at minus 5.5. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 43 points. Sorry about that. We should have over 43 points, yes. So this is over 43.5 points. So recapping predictions for the 49ers versus the Raiders. I'm expecting the 49ers to win at $1.40. In terms of spread, I'm taking the 49ers at minus 5.5, and that's $1.87. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 43.5 points, and that's $1.66. Yeah, so those are my predictions for the San Francisco 49ers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And this should be an interesting matchup, yeah? Alright, so let's move on to the next game, and the next game will be the New York Jets versus the Seattle Seahawks. And this game is another interesting one. The Jets, they were going very well at one point in the season, but they seem to have lost their way. And so let's see what they do here for the final game this season. Alright, so let's see what's taking place here. Alright then, so our next game will be the Jets versus Seahawks. And for this game now, I'm expecting here the Seahawks to take care of business, the Seahawks to win. And in terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Seahawks also at hold on here at 2.5. Sorry about that. The Seahawks at minus 2.5 in terms of total points. I'm saying here that we should have over 41 points in this game, I do believe. So over 41 points. Yep, over 41.5 points. So recapping predictions for the Jets versus the Seahawks, I'm expecting here the Seahawks to win at $2.10. In terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Seahawks at minus 2.5, and that's at $2.37 if that does happen. And in terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 41.5 points, and that's $1.83. Yeah, so those are my predictions for the Jets versus the Seahawks. I hope you're taking your notes, folks, and ensure that you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell whenever you do so. Let's move on to the next game, and the next game will be the Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Alright, and for this particular game here now, I'm expecting the Vikings and the Packers. This should be a big matchup, yeah. But I'm going to give it to the Packers because I think the Packers that the Vikings are already in the playoffs. Packers, they need to fight and they need to win this one, stand a chance to go through. Alright, so I'm gonna give them. I think they're gonna come out fighting, and as a result, they might beat the Vikings here. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if the result goes the other way. Yeah. Alright, then so Green Bay Packers to win at $1.60. In terms of a spread, I'm going here with Green Bay Packers at minus 3.5. In terms of total points here, I'm saying now that we should have under 48 points, I do believe. So under 48.5 points. In terms of my recap now, Vikings versus Packers, I'm expecting the Packers to win here at $1.60. In terms of spread, I'm taking the Packers at minus 3.5, and that's $1.95. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have under 48.5 points, and that's $1.90. Yes, so those are my predictions for the Vikings versus the Packers. In terms of Rams versus the Chargers now, I'm expecting here the Rams here, they have been toppling a few houses of late, but this is the matchup of the LA's here, and so let's see how it goes. Yeah, I think these teams share the same stadium. Yeah, I think they both share the same stadium. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into the predictions. The Rams versus the Chargers. For me, I'm gonna take the Chargers to win this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams challenge them. So the Chargers to win. In terms of a spread, also I'm going to see here the Chargers at, let me see, at minus 3.5. In terms of total points here, I'm saying that we should have under 45 points in this game, I do believe. So under 44.5. So recapping predictions for the Rams versus the Chargers. I'm expecting the Chargers to win here. That's $1.35. And in terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Chargers also to handle business here at minus 3.5 in terms of spread, and that's $1.55 if that does happen. In terms of total points here, I'm saying that we should have under 44.5 points, and that's $1.53 if that happens in this game, yeah, based on the current odds. Yeah, so let's move right along to our next game, and our next game will be the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Baltimore Ravens. And for this game now, the Steelers versus the Ravens, I'm telling you, man, this game is going to be this is an interesting matchup. The Ravens are without Lamar, and they have been poor for the most part. I'm going to give the Steelers a chance to steal this one here at $2.25. That was really good odds. Yeah, so the Steelers for me to win. In terms of spread, I'm going to take the Steelers at plus 2.5. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 36 points in this game, I do believe. Here we go. Alright, so recapping predictions for Steelers versus Ravens. I'm expecting the Steelers to win at $2.25. In terms of spread, I'm going to take Steelers at plus 2.5, and that's $2 in terms of the odds. In terms of points, I'm saying that we should have over 35.5 points in this game, and that's $1.87. Yeah, and so we're going to move right along into our next game, and our next game will be Monday Night Football, the final game of the season before we head into the playoffs. And this game will be the Buffalo Bills versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And for this game now, folks, I think this is going to be a nice matchup, to be honest with you. A matchup that you might see somewhere in the playoffs again. And so this should be an interesting one. But for me, I'm going to go with the Bengals to handle business here. So the Bengals to win. In terms of a spread, I'm going to go with the Bengals also at minus 2.5. And in terms of total points, I'm seeing here that we should have I'm going to say here we should have over 44.5 points in this game. And in terms of my recap now for the Bills versus the Bengals, I'm going to take the Bengals to win here at $2. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Bengals at minus 2.5, and that's $2.15. In terms of total points, I'm saying we should have over 44.5 points for this game, and it's $1.44 if that's the case. Alright, so that's how the cookie crumbles for week 17 of the NFL. I hope you enjoyed my video. As usual, spread the word about the channel, and thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell. Happy betting and have a great weekend. Thank you.